Hello everyone. In today's session, we will see different types of missing data. I have listed down a few attributes, and based on that, I have compared the types of missing data. At present, we have three types of missing data that stands for MCAR, MAR, and MNAR or MANR. What is the full form of these three terminologies? MCAR stands for missing completely at random. MAR stands for missing at random. MNAR stands for missing not at random or missing at not random. These are the three basic types of missing data. Based on few patterns, missing data has been provided these names that we will see very shortly. Description. MCAR, in this case, the data will be missing randomly. In case of MAR and MNAR, the data will be missing due to some reason. If we say that what is the reason for missingness in the data, why the data is missing? In case of MCAR, there is no reason of missing data as it will be randomly missing. It means that the data will be missing randomly from all the different variables, like whatever the number of variables you have, from all those variables, the data will be missing without any kind of pattern, without any correlation with any other variables. So there will be no reason in case of MCAR for the missing data. If we talk about MAR and MNAR, in that case, there may be two reasons due to which the data will be missing. The very first reason is people don't want to answer due to inappropriate question answer, or the correct question answer is not there. For an example, let's say you have created a survey or a questionnaire where you are taking response of salary, and in the salary portion you have provided all the values, but you have not provided values less than 1000. So there is no option to select the salary which is less than 1000. In that case, all those respondents whose salary is less than 1000, they are not going to provide the answer. Another probable cause of missing data in MAR and MNAR could be the person intentionally not willing to provide the answer. If you take the example of a salary question again, in that case, if the person has very low salary or very high salary, in that case the person intentionally will not provide the answer. So that could be an option as well for the missing data. Next attribute is rather the missing data depends on any another variable or not. So in case of MCAR, the data that is missing does not have any correlation or relationship with any another variable or attribute or column. In case of MAR, the missing data will have some kind of relationship with any other non-missing attribute, variable or column that you have considered in your survey or questionnaire. So over here in the notes, you can see that let's say we have two columns called position or designation and salary. And if the salary is missing due to designation, so let's say someone is CEO, but the person don't want to provide the salary as his salary is not at par compared to other CEOs. So here absence of salary due to the designation will be considered as MAR. In case of MNAR, it will be due to unobserved or not considered attribute, variable or column in your questionnaire or survey, or it will be the column, all the variable, all the attribute having missing value itself. So for example, again, if we take the same two columns called position or designation and salary, in that case, if the salary part is missing due to the salary column itself, means the person has very low salary compared to any other one, in that case it will be considered as MNAR. Or let's say the salary part is missing due to the absence of experience column, experience variable, means in your survey, in your questionnaire, you have not considered experience of the person. In that case, if the salary part is missing, it will be considered as MNAR. So the very basic difference between MAR and MNAR will be if the data is missing due to any observed variable or column or attribute, it will be considered as MAR. And if the data is missing due to unobserved, not considered attribute, variable or column, or the column or the variable or the attribute having missing value itself, in that case it will be considered as MNAR. The next thing is rather the missing data is meaningful or not. So definitely the missing data will always be helpful to have correct analysis, but rather the missing data provide any meaning or not. So in case of MCAR, the data will not provide any kind of meaning because it will be randomly spread all over the variables. If we talk about MAR and MNAR, yes, the data that is missing will have some kind of meaning. Why? Because it is following a kind of pattern called the missingness. So that's why it will have some kind of meaning. Now we will consider an example to understand these three terminologies very well. So as I have mentioned, MCAR, that is missing completely at random, will not have any kind of pattern. And in case of MAR and MNAR, the data that is missing have some kind of pattern. So let's understand with an example. Over here I have got three attributes or columns or variables called gender, designation, and salary. So let's say I had designed a survey in which I have asked three questions like what is your gender, what is your designation, and what is your salary. Now once I have got respondents to fill this survey, this questionnaire, and once I have all those details, I have seen that in my gender column, let's say this particular portion, this particular row is missing with gender value. Over here, this missingness will be called as MNAR, that is missing not at random. So as per the definition, why we are saying it as MNAR? Because here the reason of missingness is depend on the column having missing value itself. Over here the gender is missing due to this gender column itself, and the missingness does not have to do anything with any other variable called designation or salary. And again, the reason of missingness over here is either we have provided only two options, let's say gender equal to male or gender equal to female, and we do not have provided third option, transgender, and that's where the data is missing because the person has not found the third option of transgender, or the person who is a transgender don't want to disclose the gender, and hence person has willingly or intentionally not provided the answer. Means transgender option was there, but the person has intentionally not provided the answer, and that's where the data has been missing. So it is the definition of MNAR. Now consider this is the designation. So all the values are filled up, all the respondents have filled up all the values. So let's say there are 5 respondents, out of which 2 were male, 2 were female, and 1 was transgender, and their designation are like this and their salary are like this. Now consider the salary column in which we have 2 missing values. One I have represented as MAR and another one I have represented as MNAR. In case of MAR, it depends on the designation column. So over here we have found the pattern that whenever there is a particular designation, so in my case it is HOD, but in case of CEO, CTO as well, the salary part can be missing. So over here the reason of missingness is the person's HOD designation has very low salary compared to other person whose designation is HOD. Okay, so over here the person who is HOD, his salary is 500, and over here the person who is HOD, her salary is let's say 50 or 100, and due to which the person has not responded in the salary question, and that's where over here the missingness is depend on another non-missing column, due to which we are saying it as a MAR, missing at random. Now if we are going to consider the same example of missing salary value for MNAR definition. So over here the missing data in the salary column depends on the salary column itself. Why? Because over here everyone has higher salary, let's say greater than or equal to 500, but this person has salary maybe 50 or 100, and that's why the person intentionally or willingly does not want to provide the answer. So that's why it becomes MNAR. Or let's say the person's experience is 1 year, due to which his salary is 50 or 100, but we have not included this experience question in our questionnaire or survey design, and that's where the person does not want to answer this question. So over here the missingness is depend on the column itself or unobserved, not included column as well, and due to which we will call it as a MNAR. So based on the pattern, we will describe that rather the missing data is MAR or MNAR. So over here you can see that salary not disclosed due to designation will be considered as MAR. Salary not disclosed due to experience, that is not observer attribute or not included variable or salary column itself, it will be considered as MNAR. And gender not disclosed intentionally, as the person don't want to disclose it, it will be considered as MNAR. Now we will see that what will be the impact of this missing data on our statistical analysis. In most of the literature, it has been told that MCAR, that is missing completely at random, will not have much more impact on our statistical analysis. But from my personal perspective, any kind of the missing data will result in incorrect conclusion and will not provide proper picture of the population. Now, how to overcome this missing data? So there are mainly two ways to overcome this missing data. One is deletion and another one is imputation. In the case of deletion, we have two methods, either list-wise deletion or pairwise deletion. And in case of imputation, we can go for like mean-wise imputation, regression imputation, single imputation, multiple imputation, mode or median imputation. And in case of this MNAR, missing not at random, as it is depends on any unobserved or not included question, variable, attribute as well. So we need to get more variables, columns or attribute. It means we need to include as many questions as possible so that we can overcome this MNAR missing data issue. Though personally I will suggest that if you can go back to the respondent and request them to fill the missing values, fill the missing data, it will be great. But if not, then you can go ahead with this any of the method listed over here. In case of list-wise deletion or pairwise deletion, we can go for like either remove all those rows having missing values or remove all those columns having missing values. So it was all about types of missing data in statistics. So whenever you are working with any questionnaire or survey, or whenever you are designing any questionnaire or a survey, you need to be very careful that by mistake or due to any chance it does not result into MAR or MNAR kind of missing data patterns. That's it for the day. Thank you everyone for watching this video.